Guys, breaking news. Blake Lively's entitled. I know no one here figured that, but we're breaking it down today as we look at the TikTok that came out over the weekend calling Blake entitled, and then the absolute flooding of her Instagram stories to prove that no, she is sweet and kind and loves everyone and everyone loves her. Woosah. We are breaking it all down today. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ashley Brianna Eve, and on this channel, we look at the headlines through my background and my expertise, which is branding, marketing, SEO, and narrative control, which a lot of people know as more of PR, if you will, the PR of Google and social media apps. So it's a little bit of a different take if you're new, but it also shows you what's going on behind the scenes and lets you into kind of the thought process, although it's very difficult. I'm at this point slightly convinced that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are branching maximum effort out into like crisis PR, because there is no way anyone's giving them this advice. But we're going to break it down. Let me know how you guys are doing. How was your weekend, my friends? It's so nice to see so many familiar faces in the chat. Oh, let's just dive in. I don't even know where to start. She was such a hot mess express this weekend. I don't know where to start. And I just want to add, I know a lot of people watch my channel for branding and marketing as well. Not like at the end, but I'm going to show you what an archetype is and why archetypes are so critical. So if you want to know a little bit more of like the branding aspect, I'll keep that at the end just to give you more context. All right, let's dive in. Entitled Blake Lively. No, you don't say. Blasted for horrible behavior on shopping outing. So rude. So that came out, that video. Don't worry, I have it in my Instagram stories. We're going to watch it. We're also going to watch an impromptu video of her and Ryan walking through a group of people. That would be called a pap walk. Even if you're not expecting like TMZ to be there, you're expecting someone to take video and then post it. So that is definitely a pap walk. But this is what really kicked off the shitstorm this weekend. This video, she came out, she posted a video about how entitled, how horrible Blake was, and Blake had to respond. Now, this is the video. Of them just walking through somewhere. We can watch it again. So this is in response, right? So we got this. She's entitled and then swamped with stuff like that. Now, I will say that move is a move often. I know people get upset with me for saying, but I'm going to say it. I'm not going to lie to you. Is a move that Taylor tends to use as well. It is a PR tactic that Taylor Swift for the Every Woman brand archetype tends to use. So, you know, she's copying stuff that Taylor does, but she's like, I'm innocent. I'm just like you. I'm with my family. I'm with my husband. I'm just out doing things we all do. That's the vibe of it, right? That's what you go for with that kind of marketing. I think the next story I have what went down, the original video. Oh, now, where did I put the story? Okay, here it is.
Hey guys, so I'm in New York City with my sister and my mom, and we just went into Stony Clover Lane, and Blake Lively was in there, and it was honestly like a horrible experience. I don't know how she has any fans anymore. First of all, we walked in, and we're like just looking around, like I didn't even notice her at first. Like I'm just looking, shopping for my sister, and the way she's talking to the workers at the store was so rude. Like she was like, I want a fresh one of these, one that wasn't touched by other customers. No. Is there a private bathroom? No. And like not ignoring her kids, ignoring her niece, ignoring everyone, just building whatever she wanted at the, bar at Stony Clover. And then just being so just kind of irritating and rude. And I was just like, I don't know, I'm indifferent. I'm not a big fan. I don't hate her or whatever. But I was like, oh my God, like people are working hard in stores like this, and this out like it was clear that we were invading their space. It's a store, first of all. There's no sign that says you can't enter. She didn't block it off. And the second that we walk in, or the second we leave, her security guard comes and stands in front of the door. And like now I'm at the corner of the street and the security guard is staring at me. And I'm like, dude, I can't just look at a store. I can't just shop. Like, she's not the Queen of Sheba. Calm down. But anyways, if anyone's still a fan of Blake Lively, I think recheck your decision on that because she's not very nice to the common people. Hey guys.
Oh, Blake thinks she's the Queen of Sheba. I bet they came outside and threatened her there on the street. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's what she got all that hit back in controversy for, like, what, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, not even, was someone saying they took a video of her at a hotel and like then her security was chasing them around. Oh, I don't know how to do that thumbs up or how to take it away, but it happens. So that is the video. Let's now go over to what Blake was doing. So I'm going to pull up her Instagram. Might as well just show it straight from her Instagram. And I'm not surprised at all. Not shocked. But let's see what's going on with Blake's Instagram. Okay. We don't need the music, Blake. We don't need the music. Okay. So what she's done is Blake used to be, and again, stick around to the end or you can watch my other content. In branding psychology, there's archetypes. And Blake has traditionally been a ruler. It's called a ruler brand archetype. Sorry. Blake never had fans to begin with. Yeah. She has traditionally been a ruler brand archetype. And you can see that in everything she's done, even the images that she's taken. And she's shifted. So now, and watch previous videos I've done on this, but the camera's above her. It's softer imagery. She's wearing softer colors. It's a lot of talking about family and friends and words that are very nostalgia driven as well. So this is an image that came up. So she hit back. That came out, the She's Entitled piece. And Blake said, no. I'm going directly to my Instagram stories and I'm going to show you how lovely I am. I'm going to show you how sweet I am. Everybody loves me. Don't you know? That's what she did. So she goes to her Instagram. She says, more New York City greatest hits. Oh, don't worry. She keeps going. Susan Alexandra for the most special keepsake, custom made and personalized necklace and bracelets and the most unique purses and accessories. A sparkly, rainbow-filled tween dream for all ages. The sparkly and yummy. Always got to be yummy or sparkly. Another one, attempting the one-handed cut to video one of the very best New York City pancakes. They only serve them on weekends. And my word, drooly emoji, they are spectacular. Asterisk, my other favorites are, so she tags salt something. I don't know. I'm not from New York. I have no idea what these places are. But either way, she is saying, no, I am not entitled. I am not taking, for granted these places, or I'm not bullying staff. Look at, I'm shouting everyone out. Keeps going. Another tag for the yummiest I told you yummy would come. Oh, damn it. Back. Forgot to hit pause. For the yummiest seafood and pasta, an ambiance, amazing handmade drink menu with and without alcohol. This one, she's got to also address. So she's addressing that, like, no, I honor and respect everyone. Then she's got to address the niece thing because the TikToker had said she was ignoring her niece. She says, I only have a pic out front with my angel niece. So that's her out front with her angel niece. So again, I'm sweet. I love my family. We're holding hands. Camera angle is below her eye level. So she's looking down. It's candid. I'm not going to put too much thought into it, but if she's going to go with the innocent vibe, prob's not the best, but what can you do? Lots of flowers because we all know she's all about flowers. If I could pick one last thing to taste in my life, it would no doubt be this place. Nothing beats it. I mean, it does look good. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of jealous. I would love to just walk around anywhere and eat all day. But she shouts out literally everyone. And then she says they also serve Betty Buzz and Betty Booze. Didn't know anyone did. This place as well. You got to shout out the pizza as well. It keeps going. Actually, I think the one, I'll have to see if I have a copy of it still because there is one that's expired. Pizza is even better than it looks, and that's saying a lot. Every single flavor will change your life. I mean, I'm a pizza girl, so This one, another one for the most melt in your mouth pastries and yummiest. You don't want to, yeah, how to get that Betty promo in. Exactly. How to get it. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of that expired. I'm going to have to circle back to that. So another one for the most melt in your mouth pastries and yummiest cookies. And the cheesy sourdough, also a fan of sourdough bread that deserves all the awards, maybe even a knighthood. Guys, I am not rude or entitled. Look at me. Damn it. Take my word for it. Can you not see I am grateful? Another one. Makes the tastiest. This place makes the tastiest and most natural and whimsical. Whimsical is wording and imagery that you use in the innocent brand archetype. I had posted a members only video over the weekend about it, but we'll touch on it today. So to see her actually use the word whimsical when I literally, and I don't think she's a member of this channel, so I don't think this is like an Easter egg of I saw you. Who knows? Maybe she is. But whimsical was an interesting word that I saw. Her shop sells minis and bigger ones you can order in delicious cookies. This picture is from a shoot where we were lucky enough to decorate our own cakes with her teaching us her unique teachings. Do you think she made that one? Flowers everywhere again. One from tags someone insane masterpieces on the inside. Each tier on this is a different fresh and delicious flavor. Then, like, guys, it doesn't end. It legit doesn't end. Another one. And this was after, I think it was 8 hours after the controversy. For the highest quality ear piercings, request this legend, Dave, the most gentle and capable piercer in New York City. Everyone there is great. Dave just happens to be my new pal. See, guys, I make friends with the people that work at places I go to. I'm not entitled. I'm not rude. Having your best friend there for your piercing addiction, always a plus. Oh, her best friend. Her bestie, Ryan. So those are her stories. Let me see if I can find. It might have expired on mine too, but maybe not. Because she had a promo for, yeah, I think it expired on mine too. Oh, no, there it is. This is another Instagram story she had, which felt weird to me. Because if we look back, she had, the other day I did a video and she was just flooding her Instagram stories with this Pilates studio Blake Brown, not Betty Buzz, Blake Brown promo. She was there doing like the body and hair mist promo. And she got kind of like ripped apart online for like, did you pay these influencers? Because it kind of seems like you paid these influencers. And it did. It looks like she had paid influencers. They were tagging her in everything. Like she was tagged everywhere. Okay. So she was getting backlash. It looks paid. You're tagged in all of these. So then she posts this. I mean, I think someone literally just needs to take her Instagram access away from her. I found this insanely delicious looking fish and chips recipe and my jaw dropped when I saw Betty Buzz ginger beer appear. I'm starstruck. Total coincidence. Like she's speaking to the public and these girl, just don't. Like, just don't. It makes you look worse. Total coincidence. I wasn't tagged. It literally says that. Total coincidence. I wasn't tagged. I just stumbled on it. Thank you. And she tags the girl. This made me smile. I don't know, guys. I've watched a lot of food videos. How many times have you all seen Betty Buzz product placements in food videos on TikTok? I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't have happened, but I am saying that I can't imagine Blake Lively is watching thousands of reels a day, especially in the middle of a PR crisis. I cannot imagine she's sitting there risking seeing shit about her. Maybe she is that narcissistic that she is. Who knows? Do you guys believe it? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys believe it? That she just happened to, that she had no contact with this person? And keep in mind, she's accusing, hope somebody's being paid well. Never. Yep. She's a Betty bust. Oh, I don't believe that this was a coincidence. And the fact that she calls it out shows to me that either her or someone on her team mentioned, hey, girl, hey, this looks way too scripted. It looks way too orchestrated. We got to take it back a notch. So I don't know. Apparently she found this. I mean, the recipe did look delicious. I'll give them that much, but there was a product placement in it. And the interesting thing is, like, I didn't catch it. Although I imagine if it's yours, you'd likely, your reticular activating system would be more attuned to it, I suppose. But I didn't. I had to watch it a couple times. It was an actual video. And at the same time that she is accusing Justin of going to creators. So she had just submitted, I think it was on Friday, a motion to compel that Justin's team hand over all of these contacts they apparently have, or they're being accused of having, with content creators, saying, you're leaking this information, you're paying people, we need to know who you're paying. It seems like she's doing it, and yet she is, and we went through all the amicus briefs, it does seem that she's also being like, yeah, but I'm allowed because 47.1. I'm allowed to pay influencers to put my story out. I'm allowed to go to the New York Times. I'm allowed to say what I want because I am protected by 47.1. You are not protected, Justin. Not me saying that. That's Blake. I've said from day one, I think Blake Lively exposes herself with what she accuses Justin of every single time. Every single time. However, although it's still early and her team may not be doing much with it so far, but I do wonder if all of these posts were so that there was like context for a PR push. They may not, but they need some help because this is what's going on in SEO and on Google. So let's flip over. It's like my blood pressure with this case. Like, I had to deep breathe on these lives because it's just a lot. Okay. So when we're looking at any kind of PR move, what we're looking at is, and I have to show you, see, so much happened in 24 hours. I have to also show you guys what happened on X. I'll try to remember to loop back. We're looking at SEO manipulation being on Google. So essentially what you want, for those that are newer to the channel, hey, like, subscribe, hang out with us. But what you want for Google is your narrative on the first 2 pages. If someone else's narrative is on the first 2 pages, you lose. Something I say to my clients all the time is either you control the narrative or the narrative controls you. And especially during a PR crisis, you do not want the narrative controlling you. However, it also looks super reactive which is also the narrative is controlling you. So this is kind of a double-edged sword that I don't even know she realized she got into. She's trying to control the narrative by blasting all that stuff on Instagram stories. But that's reactive in a non-strategic sense. That looks like, I'm reacting and you're going to see who I am. I'm going to control it. So you're going to see, and I'm going to flood all of this, all about how I'm such a good person. And in that sense, when you react in that way, the narrative is actually still controlling you. Because it felt more like a petulant child, right? Like, no, they're going to see how nice I am, rather than strategic moves. So if you're reacting in that way, the narrative's still controlling you, Blake. I have to tell you. But this, as of this morning, we're looking at, again, first 2 pages for those that are newer to SEO manipulation. First 2 pages you want control of. This is what's on the first page. Which also, hello. It's so nice to see you in the chat. Good morning. This is interesting to me because she had pushed a lot of those stories and no one organically picked it up. So I would imagine if we do see any of like Blake Lively out with her husband and, enjoying time with her niece and testing out all her favorite stops in New York City, I would say there's no way you can't say it's orchestrated because no one picked it up organically, which also makes me think that Blake Lively, I don't know, tides may be turning. Tides may be turning. I think you might be losing control of the narrative because we have page 6. This one, I think, was the first one that hit the ground running with it, entitled Blake Lively blasted for horrible behavior on shopping outing. So rude. Oh, they edited it. So originally it had the link to the video that we watched here. However, shortly after this went up, the creator that made that video either took it down or made her account private. So it was a dead link within the article. So it looks like they did edit it and put screenshots of the video rather than just having a dead link there, because this originally had the link. So the article says, entitled Blake Lively was blasted by a fan for the horrible way she treated employees at a store in New York City. And I think, the fact Blake went crazy in her stories all around New York and with her niece, I mean, it also kind of confirmed that she was in those places. I suppose you could argue on the other side that, well, it doesn't confirm that she was a bitch, but this isn't the first time people have come out about that. Like, this isn't, holy shit, wasn't expecting that. I might be a little bit more shocked if people came out with videos and be like, Taylor Swift was such an entitled bitch at the store this weekend. Oh my God, her bodyguards kicked us out and now they're standing there and staring me down. I might be like, holy shit, what's going on in Camp Swift over there? But with her, I'm like, yeah, that tracks. But here's the thing. I'm going to mention this. Just own it, Blake. Drop this rebrand crap. Just own it. The amount of people that I have reached out and they're like, I actually enjoyed Blake in Gossip Girl and Another Simple Favor and A Simple Favor because she just plays herself. Like, she's an unhinged nut in them, but she's just playing herself. The amount of people that say they actually love those movies, like, just own it, Blake. I don't know why no, I'm sweet and innocent and whimsical and demure and all this stuff. So anyway, they quote this. They quote, it was a horrible experience. I don't know how she has any fans anymore. Oh, so she has 197,000 followers on TikTok. So that's a significant account. First of all, we already watched this, so we don't have to go too into it, but they didn't even notice her at first, but then they noticed the entitled behavior, and that's probably what drew their attention over to her. But it's been picked up. Look at this. Like, this is not what you want. Whether you are in a PR crisis or not, this is not what you want. Everyone's picking it up. It'd be interesting to see if some of her... I gave like a shout out to Variety last week because they weren't afraid to stand up against her. It'll be interesting to see if some of those platforms do. So, okay, let's go back. And let's just pull up... So this type of SEO manipulation, when someone is trying to control what's on page 1 and 2 of Google, you don't get that over on apps. What you're going to see more on apps is hashtag suppression, topic suppression, and that actually happened over on X yesterday around the time of all of this. Okay, but let's see what else is coming up for. Shift over here. How are you guys feeling with all this? This is just, it's like so expected though. Like, obviously. Okay, so let's try a different search. Just Blake Lively news. What comes up here? Yeah, entitled, criticized are at the top. So this was her move a day ago. Also, she gushes over her personal trainer who Justin Baldoni allegedly fat shamed her to. So that was one of her moves, was also in her Instagram story, shouting out Don Saladino. I do have a video, I think an expose on Don Saladino. It's a couple months old, but it's under the media manipulation playlist. Make sure to check it out. But this is her page 1. She also has this: Blake Lively embroiled in another legal battle, new court drama after devastating Justin Baldoni ruling. Not what you want. Let's look at what's going on under Justin Baldoni's name. And this can also give you a feel of where publications are leaning. as well. So Justin Baldoni, this is what's coming up under his. Blake Lively embroiled in another legal battle. That's the first one. Fan encounters gone wrong from Perez Hilton, entitled. There's some hits that they got. Reporter admits error in Justin Baldoni lawsuit. This is so hyperbolic, though. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit in jeopardy after reporter admits. And it's all about the apparent reporter saying, no, Leslie Sloan didn't say that he was an essayer. So there's some hits here, not fully ideal, but at the end of the day, his hands are tied a little bit because she just keeps hitting back with this, like, you're the abuser playbook. That's the abuser playbook. But it's not horrible. I would say her SEO is a little bit worse right now. But let me pull up. See if it'll still do it. It's working now. Okay. But I will pull up my post on X because it is working now. It was only down for one day. But I want to show you. Because they're around the time all of that was going on. So we had the Blake Lively entitled, and then we had her flooding her Instagram stories. This also happened, but it's not doing it now. It was obviously temporary. So I want to show you here. So I posted this yesterday. Today's the 9th. Yesterday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hashtag suppression happening since the TikTok videos of Blake Lively being entitled. I'm going to tell you a positive reason that hashtag suppression can work. Does anyone remember there were just horrific AI images of Taylor Swift that came out? I think it was around the first Super Bowl or maybe the second one. I think the first one, though, that she went to. Really bad AI images were trending on X. X likely got a legal letter from Taylor's team and being like, shut this shit down now. You could not search anything, Taylor. You couldn't search her name. Yeah, so you guys remember what I'm talking about. Perfect. You couldn't search her name. You couldn't hashtag her. It was quiet. You couldn't find anything on Taylor over on X. That is one way that this is used. Another way it can happen, and the Kardashians are actually great at this. The Kardashians have done this many times. Do you guys remember actually when the unflattering pictures, was it of, I don't follow the Kardashians much. Was it like Khloe? And there was, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was a bikini picture or something. There was unflattering pictures of Khloe, but you could not search the hashtag Khloe Kardashian or something like that. I don't know. I don't know their names. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, there was some controversy, perfect, over a bad bikini picture, a bad image that the internet was like, holy shit, you forgot to Photoshop this. That one, there was hashtag suppression that was used for that. You couldn't find the pictures because I remember, because I specifically was looking for the pictures at that time. It was Khloe. Perfect. Yes, it was like the non-photoshopped one. So her team, usually lawyers, so you don't need like a Nick Shapiro guy for that, right? Her lawyers would have reached out and been like, what you're going to do is stop people being able to search for that. This happened yesterday. So I was going and I was posting a lot on X yesterday. I wasn't feeling that great. So I was just hanging out in bed, posting like a mad woman on X. And all of a sudden, it went from auto-populating. What are the dogs getting into? Let me just text. See, okay. I might have to chase the dogs down and see what they're getting into. I just hear banging in the other room. Okay. I went from being able to tag or like hashtag Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, where if you start typing their name, this happens. So I'll show you actually what it's supposed to do. So see if I type Blake, it populates Blake Lively. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So it's not working yet for Justin. Do you guys see that? Let me know if you can tell what I'm talking about. So this is hashtag suppression. So Justin, let's see if I keep typing. Nope. 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 Do you see that? Okay. That was happening for both of them last night. So when I went over on X, you can see here, I started typing Blake Lively. Nothing was auto-populating. It should auto-populate if it's a popular hashtag. It wasn't. Nothing for Justin Baldoni either. So then I post like a little graphic. It can also be called, you might hear it also called social media autocomplete filtering is another way it's called. But if we look at it, sorry guys, like we're getting into the, I hope you guys like it. Although I feel like if you're here for like how people and celebrities manipulate the media. So I hope you like it. This stuff I get so excited about. So when we're looking at it from either hashtag suppression or social media autocomplete filtering, so the autocomplete is not finishing. It's basically used to prevent virality of certain ideas. So it's preventing people typing in like Blake Lively entitled or TikTok Blake Lively or anything like that. Because then what happens? Well, then you get a bunch of videos that will populate, likely that video of her being entitled being shared. Okay, so if you type in maybe Blake Lively yesterday around that time, you would likely get a lot of videos of people having saved the entitled video and sharing it. You couldn't do that. So it prevents virality. It shapes what people search, but also a psychological thing as well is it's like top of mind, right? When you have hashtags that are trending, one of the biggest psychological pieces is it's top of mind. But when you remove the autocomplete or you do hashtag suppression, what happens then is it's not top of mind anymore. So from a psychological perspective in branding and marketing and PR, my original career was in psychology. So I was a counselor. So I love the psychology of branding. And you guys should know, it's not that branding, marketing, and PR is bad. It's just what I like from this channel is you guys to be aware of what is happening, not just in personal brands, not just in celebrities, but corporations and businesses do this too. So it's going to not be top of mind. You're not going to think of it because the hashtag's suppressed. This first happened with Blake Lively and Justin when she brought on Nick Shapiro. Now it's not connected to the CIA. You don't need CIA connections for this. It is, let me just pause. Let's not trash other creators in the chat, please. I'd appreciate that. I'm just seeing someone's name keep popping up, and I just want to make sure I don't want that to be our chat, guys. I might be misreading the situation, but I just don't want that to be our chat. Okay. So when Nick Shapiro came on, usually you're going to have lawyers that reach out and they send like it's this hashtag is going against community guidelines. So people are using this hashtag to bully or to, harass someone. So what ends up happening is the lawyer will send something. But yeah, this was happening yesterday. Seems to still be happening for Justin because it should be popping up. There's no way no one is talking about Justin right now. See, Team Justin's not populating. There is no way that no one is talking about him. Huh. And I can't imagine it's his team. Someone had said, I think I missed it. Good combo, psych and branding. I agree. So much fun. Where was it? Yes, exactly. So it wasn't a question, it was a statement. Yes, it will keep it trending as well. Exactly. So it also, from a perspective of like gaining traction in like trending topics, it'll stop that. Exactly. Good point. Thank you for filling that in for me, Chris. I appreciate that because that's a good point that I forgot to mention. It will also stop it from trending, so it won't become a trending topic. I'm just going to, guys, I have to check on my dogs. Oh, no, my husband's with the dogs now. I got a text being like, I'm with them. Don't worry. Perfect. It's like the puppy, if things are too quiet or I hear banging and then the banging goes away, it makes me a little concerned. Okay, so that's how it's still not populating. Exactly. Justin Baldoni's isn't populating still. So I can't imagine it's his team that would do that, especially since Blake Lively was also the one. And this just happened. This happened around the time Blake started flooding her Instagram stories. So I don't think it's a coincidence. I think they were trying to, my opinion, just only 15 years in the industry. But my opinion is she did not want that video trending, so she shut it down. But it looks like Justin's hashtag is still down. But then it can't trend, right? That can't trend now, which makes it harder to find information on Justin Baldoni because his hashtag's not trending. His hashtag is like, doesn't exist, basically. I thought Nick Shapiro had left her team. I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't seen anything confirmed either way. He may have just been in the beginning as more of like a strategy perspective. It's very possible. Crisis PR is not cheap. Maybe her and Ryan are like raw dogging the PR and marketing right now. Like maximum efforts just branching out and they're going to do it themselves. And that's why they're making so many bad moves. Okay, let me just see. What else is going on? I just want to see if I can find that article about her new lawsuit. But I feel like it's probably blocked with the Daily Mail. Anything with like Taylor, yeah. You have to pay for it. Anything with Taylor Swift right now, Justin Baldoni or Blake Lively, you have to pay for in the Daily Mail. And now I'm like, on principle, I am not. So those are the only topics you're making me pay for. All right. What do you guys think about that? That's what's gone down with her branding and marketing. I want to show you why this shift is so apparent. So we're going to talk about branding psychology a little bit more, but I want to show you some pictures. Just have to bring it up. This is why it's so stark, the difference. So she went from really doing the ruler brand archetype. And the ruler brand archetype doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like rude to people or entitled or think you're better than people, although I think she kind of took it that way. Mariah Carey could be said as a ruler archetype. Beyonce could be said to be a ruler archetype. Catherine, Princess of Wales, is a ruler archetype. So you see so much within it that there's like breadth and depth to the ruler. It doesn't mean that you're just like rude and above others, right? That is not what it's about. But if we look at this, like look at the change in her marketing, because all these images, whether it's just her out with her friends, with her sister, apparently doing floral arrangements for funerals in her house with her husband, it's all marketing right now. But this is the image that she had before in her brand on the left. So what's interesting to me is she had two kind of ways of being in pictures. Now, are there ones that you could find that, you know, are a little bit different? Sure. But she primarily had two ways of posing in pictures. This one, where it's like shoulders back, boobs out, chin raised, and looking down at the camera, which is a Betty Buzz one here, a little bit looking down, but still like this looking down, this kind of in control facial expression. Or if she was smiling, this was her smile, but still chin up a bit, right? So she's chin up, camera tended to be below her. It's not that easy to find pictures. There is one image I was able to find from Vogue. The camera is above her, but it's more of like a scene shot. It's like a casino shot from a Vogue shoot. And it's like glitz and glam and she's in a gown. And it's more meant to be like almost the vibe it's giving is almost like a security camera picture taking an image of everyone. So it wasn't just of her, but it's very difficult to find images of her where the camera's above her to make her look sweet, innocent, and small. Tends to be below. She's looking down on it with a slight chin lift up. Now look at this. This is all Blake for her new rebrand. Lighter colors. I had said when she was gallivanting around New York City for the Another Simple Favor premiere and she was wearing like all black, looked like leather or something. I said, oh my gosh, who is styling her during this? Like, I mean, I'm not Team Blake, but girl, make better PR moves, man. Like that's brutal. But she's clearly taken notes from someone because it's lighter colors, baby pink, soft yellows. She's got flowers all around her constantly. Even this image here, this is her niece and her from her Instagram stories. She's jean shorts, cute little top. It is a cute top. I like that top. But it's like simple. It's non-threatening, right? Very different than images we've seen, even if she's just walking around New York City with Ryan Reynolds. Very different vibe. Other thing you can notice with her in these is one, the angelic kind of branding. So this is a Betty Buzz. Her in the yellow, the pale yellow is a Betty Buzz picture, or Betty Booze, or whatever, either one of them. But the lights behind her giving her that angelic, whimsical glow. She has this image from her Instagram stories with the pale pink, and it's like really soft, glittery filter that she puts above it. But also like the smile is something that really caught my attention. It's more childlike, right? Even when she smiles over here, it's like, I'm in control. It's very much that ruler archetype. Over here, it's more of that like innocent vibe. She also in these images, for these three especially, is exposing her neck. So she's looking up to the camera with a chin tilt up rather than down, and exposing the neck is vulnerability. So it speaks to the subconscious mind that she's vulnerable. I'm exposing my neck. I'm vulnerable. So it's really interesting to see such a stark difference in her branding images, a stark difference in how she's showing up. Like she is like go big or go home, all the way to the other side of, I'd say she's going for an innocent vibe now. Betty bullshit is what it is. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I love the fashion part of PR, just like using white in an apology video. Exactly. Yeah. When Ashton Kutcher did his apology video, they were in white with a soft background. Absolutely. Clothing, colors, makeup, all of it goes into the vibe. So we'll go into it a little bit. We won't do this part. Okay. What to do in crisis? Because I get asked a lot, well, what should she have done in like a PR crisis? Because people are saying, well, she's flipping the archetype because she wants to seem innocent. And it's true. That's exactly what she's doing. But when you do that, you rupture trust. And it's not uncommon to see people try to flip brand archetypes. But when you're seeing someone like Blake Lively, who, I mean, I've never been a fan, but the only image I had in my head of Blake Lively, honestly, because I haven't watched anything she's been in, the only image I had in my head of her was like royalty, Met Gala princess energy, power couple energy. That was all I had in my mind for her. So then you start to see her flooding everything on social media with I'm sweet and I'm demure and, everyone loves me and I love everyone. And, it just felt very jarring. And there's a couple situations where brands have tried to flip and they're like, no, shit. I'm going back because you don't do that. You don't. She should have gone away. This is my advice to you, Blake. Too late for it, but was my advice from day one. She should have gone away, had some like strategic leaking of pictures of her with her husband and kids, but maintaining that ruler archetype, maintaining that like little bit polished images, like look at us, the perfect family type images. She should have stayed with that. Let her team handle everything. But I am convinced that maximum effort is like branching out to crisis PR because it's the only thing that makes sense. I find it very hard to believe anyone is actually getting paid for what they're doing. So Nike, hero brand archetype, became a little bit self-conscious. This is going back a bit, and publicly demonstrated a lack of confidence in their brand. So they changed ad agencies and brand managers, and they had like a huge crisis within the brand. They started losing a lot of money. They went back to the hero's journey. They went back to the hero brand archetype, and the brand started to improve. Coca-Cola was another one. Data showed consumers saw Coca-Cola as the innocent brand archetype. They saw Pepsi as the jester. So it was kind of, when Pepsi would more or less pick on Coke, if you will, it was within their brand. And so Coca-Cola kind of got into like this odd space. And what ended up happening was they tried to flip their marketing. It was in 1985. So we're going back. So probably many people don't remember this, but they tried to flip their marketing and they like rebranded as New Coke, this New Coke era. And it tanked. It absolutely tanked. So they went back to the old branding. So the reality is when you're looking for a pivot, so Blake Lively, in terms of pivoting right now, don't pivot. Go deeper into your identity and reinforce your identity. Old Spice is probably the only one that I can think of or that has been shown. Oh, why is that not working? To have effectively flipped archetypes. Okay. But brands are going to become more iconic through archetypal, almost marriage, right? Taylor has become so iconic because she's been so consistent. Yeah. New Coke was the worst marketing crisis in US corporate history. Exactly. Because they tried to flip that archetype. Yeah. So when we're looking at your brand archetype, Taylor Swift, even though she's had eras, has been so consistent. She's been the every woman through and through and through. But what has happened is marketing and PR firms can almost like force a brand, happens, or just the person, probably Blake Lively, doesn't listen, to follow fads or to almost respond to naysayers. And so again, even when they're responding like Blake Lively right now, hitting back in our Instagram stories, like, are we in high school? You lose control of the narrative. But this causes like you to drift from identity to identity to identity. Meghan Markle's been accused of that in her brand as well. Whether you love her or hate her, I'm not arguing about that. What I am arguing about is she has had a brand identity crisis. Love her or hate her, she has. So Blake Lively has gone from the ruler, and that has been her brand for as long as like she's been in the space, to the everyone, to the innocent, and she's backed herself into a corner now. And I'm going to show you an excerpt I have on that. She's backed herself into a corner. Because when we're looking at brand archetypes, so for example, Taylor, yes, she's very talented. A lot of talented people don't make it to that level, though. Yes, she's a hard worker. A lot of hardworking people don't make it to that level. She's been so consistent in the psychology of her brand, including her brand archetype, that it is simple. You know what to expect from Taylor, even to the point where people know Easter eggs and plan out Easter eggs. And it's so compelling. But it's because at the core, her brand is simple. It is so simple, Taylor's brand. That's why it works. But when you start bouncing back and forth, you fracture trust. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think the biggest issue with Blake is right now. Let me just pull up. I did a little thread on it on X today. I don't have slides on that, so I'll pull up that so you have a visual. Because if you're like me, sometimes I appreciate visuals. So I try to also incorporate visuals in my stuff for you guys if you're like me. Okay. So because she's bounced around, she's backed herself into a branding disaster. Even if she survives this, she has a huge issue in terms of her brand long term. This is why. And watch, look at the images even. So different. This is why people don't like you, Blake. One of the reasons, but it doesn't help that you're just like playing a role of innocent now and people can feel it. Okay. So she's been that brand archetype. If we're looking at it from like a business perspective or a big brand that's not a human, not a personal brand, Rolex would be an example of the ruler archetype. The problem is let me go down. Okay. The problem is when she comes out the other side, whether she loses, I hope she loses. That is what I am holding the energy for every single day, is that Justin is vindicated of all of this and he gets his 400 million. But either way, on the other side of this, the question then becomes, does she go back to the ruler? The problem with this, if she goes back to this image of the ruler, what people are going to say, and rightfully so, I knew you were playing a victim. I knew it was all fake. And rightfully so, because it wouldn't even be at that point in time speculation. It would be proven. She would be flipping the archetype again once on the other side of the crisis. So does she go back to the ruler, or does she try and keep up this like innocent, whimsical, innocent vibe? Like this vibe here. where she literally looks 12 years old here. I had to do like 4 takes when I first saw that Instagram story because it didn't feel like her. Right? But it's small. It's childlike, if you will, innocent. The childlike smile. Even this, it's so funny. I was actually thinking about this morning. I don't know if you guys do it. This is the smile I give when I am forcing a smile. Have you guys ever when I'm forcing a smile, I'm like my eyes squint more than typical when I am faking a smile. So it's so funny when I see that. Like I know you're going for sweet childlike with this, but it just gives me the face I give when someone says something and I am just too old to fight now. I'm just too old to fight. I give that smile. That's literally the smile I give at my age when someone's just, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Right? That squid, I don't know. Let me know if you guys can relate. Yes, worst AF. Because it's just not, yeah, it's just not her. So it'll be interesting because again, all she's going to do is fracture trust more. And then what do? Pick up, can any of you see Blake in a role of being like the sweet, innocent character? No. She's always kind of had that role of playing herself. That is the joke. She plays herself. I think she's even said that in interviews that she plays herself. And everyone she plays is a bitch. So I don't know, like just own it. And that's the biggest problem that some people have in a crisis is they're so concerned that they flip and they're like, oh, my brand right now, whether they understand brand archetypes or not, my brand right now isn't working. So I have to switch. But all it does is make you look fake. All it does is make you look manipulative. And people do not like being manipulated. Just be honest. Just own it. Just own who you are, Blake. I don't know. Like Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey's always just been a diva, and she's a diva. And I love her for it. I usually don't. For me, we tend to stick within our archetypes, or at least our archetypal family, because we're tribal beings. We want to be around people that think like us and around people that are like us, right? So, I'm the outlaw archetype, and I tend to stick within my outlaw family of who I'm drawn to. But man, it's just, there's some brands that no matter what, they're so magnetic too. Like Taylor's so magnetic and done so well that even though she's the every woman, I can't help but just be fascinated by her brand. Okay, let's pull back up. And we'll check the docket before you guys go, but I don't think there's anything new yet today. Oh, wait, there is. There is. We'll pull it up. Okay, I just want to look back here one more time, see if anything shifted. Yeah, Blake Lively's team and Leslie Sloan are definitely pushing this headline. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit in jeopardy after reporter admits texting mistake. They're definitely behind of that headline. Because remember, guys, we talk about this all the time. 80% of people only read the headline. So that feels like a massive loss for his team. All right, well, let's see what's going on here in the docket. Oh, it's not going to let me. It won't let me download it. Oh, there it goes. Just need to give it a moment. Just need to give it a second. All right, well, let's look at it. Let's see what's going on, guys. Literally just went up. I am melting. I'm going to close my window. One sec. It's like so humid here. Melting. My hair just is in the era of like being frizzy. I just have to deal with it. Summer. Okay, where were we? Oh, damn it. I didn't share it yet. Okay. I'm just seeing this. So we are going to be finding out what this is and together. Okay, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, opinion and order. Says Louis J. Lyman, United States District Judge. Consolidated defendants Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, Vision PR Inc., and together with Sloan, the Sloan parties or Sloan, and the New York Times Company, each moved to dismiss the amended complaint of Wayfair Studios LLC, Wayfair, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Melissa Nathan, Jennifer Abel, Steve Sarowitz, pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B6. Reynolds, Sloan, and Vision PR additionally moved for an award of attorney's fees and costs pursuant to New York's anti-SLAPP law, New York civil rights law. Lively moves for an award of attorney fees, treble damages, and punitive damages pursuant to Civil Code 47.1. After those 19 amicus briefs, what does this say on the docket? Let me just see. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, finally, Lively, Sloan, and Reynolds moved to strike Exhibit A to the amended complaint pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12. For the following reasons, the motion to dismiss are granted. The motion to strike is denied, but the court will disregard Exhibit A to the amended complaint for purposes of this motion. The motion for fees are denied without prejudice to renewal. Interesting. The motion to dismiss is granted. So is this like, I'm not a lawyer. I'm processing in real time. Does anyone know what that means? This can't be like the whole lawsuit, is it? That can't be the whole lawsuit. Someone help me out that knows more about the law than me. For the following reasons, the motion to dismiss are granted. The motion to strike is denied, but the court will disregard Exhibit A to the amended complaint for purpose of this motion. Background. The Wayfair Party's amended complaint contains allegations regarding a dispute between two well-known actors over the making of a Hollywood motion picture. Virtually every fact is hotly contested. For purposes of this motion, the court accepts as true the well-pleaded allegations of the Wayfair Party's amended complaint. Accordingly, the narrative set out below does not reflect the court's own findings, but simply repeats the accounts of events stated by the Wayfair parties in their amended complaint. At this stage of proceedings, the court has not considered whether the allegations in the amended complaint are true. In addition to the allegations in the amended complaint, the court has considered several documents which are deemed to be part of the amended complaint as a matter of law. A complaint is deemed to include any written instrument attached to it as an exhibit, materials incorporated in it by reference, and documents that, although not incorporated by reference, are integral to the complaint. If a complaint makes clear, definite, and substantial reference to a document, for example, by quoting from it extensively, an entire document is deemed to be part of the complaint. Quotes Trump versus Vance. Okay. Relatedly, if the complaint relies heavily on the terms and effect of a document, but for some reason does not include the entire document, the court may consider the entire document part of the complaint. The purpose of this rule is to prevent a complaint from surviving simply because a clever plaintiff included certain parts of a key document and left out others. Under this, this is 132 pages. There's no way. Okay, well, we're not reading 132 pages today. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. You're going to have to find someone else that's reading 132 pages. I thought this would be like 5 pages. But no. Okay. Now I feel like I need to go back and figure out what the amended complaint was. Under the standard, the amended complaint is deemed to include the New York Times article that is the subject of the Wayfair party's defamation claims, a list of 17 protections demanded by Lively to return to production on November 23rd, and emails between the New York Times and Wayfair parties. Each of these documents is extensively quoted and discussed in the amended complaint. The complaint also relies heavily on the terms and effect of each document, either because it alleges the terms are defamatory or because it alleges they constitute a contract. In determining whether the Wayfair parties have stated a claim for relief, the court does not consider it Exhibit A to the Wayfair parties' amended complaint. Under the federal rules of civil procedure, a defendant is entitled to know the allegations against it and to have those allegations framed in separate paragraphs with sufficient clarity to allow the defendant to frame a responsive pleading. The body of the Wayfair parties' amended complaint is 224 pages long, docket number 50. Let me write that down. I feel like I need to look into this. There's been so many. Exhibit A is a timeline providing a summarized account of the sequence of events, which is additional 168 pages long. Docket number 51 is significantly but not entirely repetitive of the amended complaint, but it does not set out its claims in numbered paragraphs as required by federal rule of civil procedure. The document is not a written instrument that evidences legal rights or duties or otherwise forms the basis of the Wayfair parties' claims, but is simply an additional narrative summary. If such a document could be deemed part of a complaint, then Rule 8A's requirement of a short and plain statement of a claim for which relief could be granted would be eviscerated. If the Wayfair parties wanted any factual statements in the timeline to be considered, they should have alleged them in the amended complaint. The parties. Interesting. Some background on It Ends With Us. The production. So is that it? Are they just summarizing everything now? I don't know why. My comments aren't showing up on my computer, but let me pull it up on a different page. I can't see any comments here. Let me see. What are you guys saying? I had to pull it up on my phone. So the judge is just telling them to fix their complaint, I think. Okay, yeah, that's what kind of the feeling I'm getting too, is that they're saying, so the timeline is denied. Okay. Oh, Leanne's here. Hi, Leanne. I can't see you guys. It's so weird. I'm like, there's got to be something going on with the checks. You guys are chatty and it's not showing me any. Okay, perfect. There you guys are. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading what you guys are saying. Leanne Newton says all motions to dismiss have been granted, but Wayfair get to just amend by the 23rd of June. Okay, perfect. Interesting. All right. Well, I have no doubt Blake's team's going to run with this. No doubt whatsoever. Whoops. All right. Well, there you go. Leanne filled us in, but only related to certain allegations. This is bad. No, this is expected, Leanne Newton says. All right. Well, there you go, guys. I have no doubt. I genuinely have no doubt I'm not a lawyer, but I have no doubt from a PR perspective, her team's going to run with this. I wonder how long it'll take her team to run with this. I bet it's not going to be long. It'll take them a hot second because unless the judge is sending them stuff early before it hits the docket, I don't know, but it'll take them a hot second, but I have no doubt her team's going to run with it. Because her team also ran with the fact that, you know, the journalist saying that he didn't send those text messages or Leslie Sloan never said that he was an SAer, they ran with that. And that was a headline. And Blake definitely needs some positive headlines right now. Interesting. Of course they will. Yeah, they're going to run with this. So keep your eyes on Google, because I bet. Because again, the thing that's trending right now, But yeah, there it is. Watch. I'll put it up here. Not this yet, but they ran with this headline almost immediately. And it was People. So Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni twist. Reporter clarifies Lively's publicist never said Baldoni SA'd her. People tends to be where Blake Lively goes now. So it's interesting because I don't think there's ever been a platform that's really been connected to Blake that strongly. People's always been where Tree Payne and Taylor have gone for exclusives, but it seems increasingly more where Blake is going. I have a theory. My theory is I really believe she's trying to muddy the waters. That's my personal theory. My theory is that Blake understands and realizes that people know Tree goes to People magazine, their website, for exclusives. And I think she's trying to muddy the waters because she's done a lot of like drops of stuff about her and Taylor are still friends and they're working things out. And it could be so that people that know Tree goes to People are like, oh, that has to be Taylor then. Although I think you'd have to be, yeah, I do not think that's Taylor at this point. So they ran with this. Blake Lively's publicist never claimed Justin Baldoni SA'd the actress. A journalist now clarifies after his text message was used in Baldoni's $400 million countersuit. A major component of Baldoni's defamation claims against Lively's longtime PR rep Leslie Sloan hinged on a text message from a reporter claiming that Sloan said Blake was SA'd. And that's where a lot of stuff came out too of like, well, it went from SH to SA. Like no one's keeping the same story. In his complaint, Baldoni's lawyers wrote that Sloan escalated the false narrative by telling the reporter that Blake was SA'd, an unsubstantiated accusation that not even Lively had gone so far as to claim, designed to destroy Baldoni and his reputation. Sloan has maintained that she never used the term SA'd as described by the reporter, and she asked Judge Lyman in February to be dismissed from the case. Now entertainment journalist James Batushka has revealed himself as a Daily Mail reporter whose text message was used in Baldoni's complaint. On Thursday, June 5th, he filed a signed declaration swearing that Sloan never told me that Miss Lively was SH'd or SA'd by Justin Baldoni or anyone else. He said he did not authorize his private text to be used as exhibits in Baldoni's complaint. Pardon me? Pardon? Well, I'm pretty sure that no one on Justin's side during the Van Zandt lawsuit agreed for their text messages to be included in the New York Times. It's wild. The hypocrisy with these people. In those text messages, my use of the phrase SA'd was a mistake. I regret this error. He added, this phrase was not in reference to any conversation I had with Leslie Sloan. Macaulay, an attorney representing Sloan, said in a statement on June 6, after being wrongfully dragged in this litigation, Leslie Sloan has repeatedly stated that she never used the phrase SA'd, which formed the basis of Baldoni's meritless defamation claims against her. See, and this is why it's interesting from like a PR perspective and a headline perspective. Remember, 80% of people only read the headline. But when you get into it, it's not that Blake never did anything or Ryan Reynolds never did anything. This is all about that text message chain from Leslie Sloan. But I also, am I going to be honest? So declaration means something from their side, but a signed declaration means nothing from Brian Freeman saying that Taylor Swift's team told him that she was being extorted by Blake. I don't know. These people are wild. Baldoni's legal team has claimed Sloan and her company Vision PR played an active and integral role in a conspiracy to inflict harm on the Wayfair parties. Also, in their March response to Sloan's motion to be dismissed from the case, Baldoni's lawyers claimed Sloan conspired with her clients Lively and Reynolds to make scapegoats of the Wayfair parties for Lively's woes. They called it Sloan's desperate effort to salvage Lively's reputation and escape Lively's wrath, while receiving bad press around the release of It Ends With Us in August 2024. Interesting. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Her new nickname, Muddying the Waters. Yeah. Literally. Yeah, it's I don't know. I hope his team's able to show extortion at trial. Exactly. I hope so too. I don't know, guys. I would say Blake's going to twist this as a win for her. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's going to twist this as a win. But overall, I'm not a lawyer, so that stuff is not my jam. But what I can say is from a PR and branding perspective, Blake has lost the plot. She should have just gone away, doubled down on what she was doing. But it seems like she just can't do that. Like, I genuinely think she is incapable of just stepping away. And in the process, she's destroying her brand. But anyway, my friends, that's all I have for you guys today. If anything really pops off on the docket, I'll do an uploaded pre-recorded video. But overall, thank you for hanging out with me, guys. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.